Good evening, and welcome to the Tamarack Fire live briefing for the community. Tonight, we are streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. At the end of the meeting or during the meeting, if you have questions, if you want to put them in the chat on Facebook, we have public information officers who will answer them. If it is a frequently asked question, we may wait until the end to answer that, and those emails we will respond back. So please send us your questions. We do want to speak with you. And with that, I will go ahead and hand our briefing over to Sheriff Coverly from Douglas County. Thank you.
Thank you, and good evening. Hopefully this is the last time you'll see me on this. Nothing has changed recently, which is good. All the evacuations have been lifted, and people are able to return to their homes and properties. We have increased our patrol presence in those areas, so even if you're not able to stay at your home, know that we'll be up there making sure that nobody else is doing anything they shouldn't do. Please be mindful of the fire crews that are in the area and the power company utilities that are doing work, and give them a wide berth and let them do what they need to do. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Rocky Mountain Incident team and everything that they've done. I've gotten to know a few of them casually, and the thing that struck me is they're all from small towns and areas just like ours, and they understand the devastation and the impact that wildfire has to a community, and they have done absolutely everything they can to minimize the impact and to get this under control and do what they have to do. So if you see them in the community, give them a pat on the back and thank them, and let them know that you appreciate everything that they've done, and so that they can get home to their families and back to normal. Thanks.
Good evening, Travis Lip, Operations Section Chief Trainee, and I'll go over the current status of the Tamarack Fire, and we'll start up on the north end in Division Kilo. So Division Kilo starts right here and goes east over towards 395. First thing you'll notice, this perimeter of fire line has been turned black. We have called this contained, so crews currently are just in there patrolling, checking the edge of the fire line, making sure there isn't any additional heat that we have missed. So this north section right in through here is looking really good. You can see the Leviathan Mine Road is right here for your reference. We'll continue on around, going to the east along 395. We continue to have crews along 395 going into the Spring Valley and Holbrook areas, continuing to mop up and look for any heat around structures. We will continue to do that, but as of this afternoon, both those areas are looking really good, but crews will continue to stay in those areas. You'll continue as we continue east. Here's where the fire went across Highway 395 right here. That section of fire line you will also see is turned black. Today we did continue to have crews. We had one engine crew and then a hand crew patrolling both these flanks of fire. It probably on the map doesn't look like it's very big, but this is extremely big chunk of ground to cover by foot. So crews continue to look in that area, but it's again looking really good, and we have turned that section black. As we'll follow all the way down. Here's 395 where the fire turns and goes west. So this whole section right in here of fire line to the northwest, we have turned that all black and called that contained. Things are looking really good. So we'll get into Division Quebec right now, where a lot of our crews are working. We currently have 4 hotshot crews in Division Quebec. Here's the Leviathan Mine. So currently we got crews working towards each other like this in both directions. This is a real rugged piece of ground where the fire didn't burn real well. It's spotty. Not a real straight edge, so heavy timber in areas. So Crews are in there currently trying to go direct as possible. There are a few areas where they are doing some firing by hand, and in those areas what we're trying to do is bring the fire out of the timber stringers and bring them out into the grass, sagebrush areas where we can get a containment on or handle on it and put it out easier. Bumping over here west of the mine, we do have a crew that has started here. You can see this 82 number right here. We had a shot crew work this area today and then turn the corner. So this area right here is looking real good. This area back just to the east of the mine, there's still a lot of work in there. So currently 3 crews continue to work in there, kind of working towards each other. Plan to be in there again tomorrow. Moving west from the mine, we had a hot shot crew continue going west in this direction. You'll see some of these fingers of fire that come out. They are doing a little firing, burning out in this section right here currently as we speak to secure that fire line up there. Again, what they're doing is bringing the fire out of the timber into the open grass, sagebrush areas where when it hits that grass, sagebrush component, it's almost going out on its own, and then crews are able to pick it up direct and secure it. So they'll continue around working to the west. And we do have another crew in here that was working to the east. They drove in here and on one of these roads, went into one of these fingers where there wasn't a lot of fire activity and started working to the east. This western section of Division Quebec in here, this is an area that doesn't have near the heat that the east side does. So future plans, crews will continue to pick this fire edge up and continue to work it direct to secure it. We will put boots on the ground, or crews will walk the entire perimeter of this section of fire to secure it. They may put some hand line in. They may cold trail it where they reach down and feel with their hand if there's any heat. Hot spot, just check for any heat and secure those sections. There may be areas where we do additional burnout just to clean up pockets and make it easier for the crews to pick that up. So things are looking good in Quebec. Still a lot of work left in there. We'll continue around into Division Tango. Division Tango today, you'll see drop point 25 right here about halfway between the division break here and here. Today we turned from the division break off of 89, Highway 89 here, going to this drop point 25 break. That will get turned black today. So we got some more containment on the fire in Division Tango. That's looking really good. A lot of the work today in Tango, we had 4 hotshot crews. 5 hotshot crews in there today also. So what happened in Tango today, it's hard to see, but right where this division, or where this D is in Division T, the fire kind of went over the top of the ridge. It had a spotty mess, wasn't a straight edge, kind of some timber, heavy timber areas. So what they did today, they flew single engine air tankers and dropped retardant along that ridge in the open grass, sagebrush areas. When they finished doing that retardant line, they had crews hike up to the top of the ridge from this road that comes into this structure right here where 28 is. They tied into that road, went direct with hand line up to the top of the ridge. Then from that hand line is where they took retardant and started flying it back kind of towards the south around this timber section. And then what they did, currently still ongoing, we took a helicopter and did some aerial ignition in there in this area right here. And what they're trying to do, it's a dirty burn, or an area where it's not real clean black. It'd be hard to pick the edge up because it goes everywhere. So they put that retardant line in on the back side of this ridge in the open grass sagebrush areas, and then they'll burn out this little section right here, with the helicopter, and then follow that back up with crews going direct. And we had crews also from this road I was talking about working back towards the west, towards the division break there. So a lot of good work in there. One more good shift with all those crews in there, and this section will be looking real good by end of shift tomorrow. So a lot of good work being done in there today. We'll continue along in Division Alpha today. That's in the wilderness area here, as you can see. So today we had a wildfire suppression module come in from here, this direction. And they hiked into the division break, and what they're doing in there, they did pick up the fire's edge where there was some heat right in near this break. They haven't made it very far. It's some real tough, rugged terrain. So right now they're just in there getting eyes on this from the ground for the first time. But hard to get around steep, rocky edges. Currently finding limited heat in this area, last report that I had. At the same time, we did get a second wildfire module. They're coming in through the middle of the fire right here from Markleyville, coming in this way, and then hiking into this section right here to try to get eyes on this area. Again, they aren't currently addressing any of the fire perimeter or heat. It's some good long hikes to get into those areas. So right now they're just getting their situational awareness and seeing what we have, but they're able to provide us some good intel for what we may look at this doing in the future. So do have people in Division Alpha today. And we'll finish up going around into Division Foxtrot. That goes all the way here like this. You'll see, so coming to the west, again, you'll see black line all the way around. Here's Burnside Lake, Hawkins communication site right here. Got black all the way down almost to the division break here. Here's Charity Creek, so almost down to the creek. So this line is contained. Again, this is some real rugged country. Crews were in there, and they will continue to be in there just to make sure we continue to secure this area all along in through here. So overall, if you look at the picture, start over here almost where Charity Creek is over here on the west. You'll see this whole north half following this edge has all been turned black. We're calling that contained, but we still will have crews continuing to go back and make sure everything is secure, and then we will continue to have resources in Quebec, Tango, and some in Alpha as we continue to work on these two areas. But a lot of good work done by the crews the last couple of days. Thank you.
Good evening, Glenn Lewis, Fire Behavior Analyst with Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team 1. So yesterday out on the fire, we had some thunderstorms pass over. We dropped some precipitation on the fire. We also got as a result, that same system brought in some cooler temperatures and a little bit higher humidities. The rains, the thunderstorm activity was highly variable across the fire, though. In some places we got up to almost an inch, and then in some places we also got only a few hundredths across there. So as a result, there was still some areas on the fire today that would burn actively. And the rain that comes down like that, and those thunderstorms especially, comes down very quickly. And it falls through the canopy, but it falls so quickly that it doesn't do a great job of raising the fuel moisture out there. And so in those heavier fuels, the lighter fuels will absorb some of that, and the humidity will affect them in the short term, and so it creates a shorter burn period as well. So that actually played right into the operations folks' hands today. They had already planned on going in there and picking up the fires that came out of those stringers of conifers in there with the heavy fuels, And so that actually worked out very well because those are still burned today, but with the increased humidity and a little bit of rain on it, that made those grass and sage areas even more prone, less prone to burn. So looking forward to the rest of this week, there's a chance of thunderstorms all the way through Friday. Some chance of a wetting rain in some of those, and some of those could be heavy. And so that's one of the things to be watching out for is a possibility when that happens of some flash flooding. The Weather Service will be in touch with that. But again, thunderstorms, though, tend to be pretty spotty in how they drop their moisture on the fire. And so that's something that we'll definitely be watching for. But what it does when it brings out also humidity, especially after several days, we mentioned how it doesn't readily absorb the moisture. The fuels don't. When you have that moisture come down very quickly. But when you stack up several days like that, it keeps building up and having a cumulative effect. So as time goes on, then what you tend to see is a shorter and shorter burn period. And that's as that happens, that gives a larger period of opportunity for the operations folks to really jump on that and exploit that in the way that they've been doing already. That's the outlook for this week.
Thank you, Glenn. Hi, folks. Thanks for your interest. I'm Dan Dallas. I'm the incident commander for the Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team. So enough time has gone by since we talked last. It's easy to draw a contrast to the last time I spoke to you. There's been enough success. There's been enough forward motion and just a lot of other things that have happened, a lot of work on this fire that it's really easy to think back to the last time we spoke. So the first thing I'd share with you is I'm really appreciative that I'm not sending out a special message to folks in an evacuation center right now. That's probably one of the most important thing. The second thing I'd share is, I don't know, this wet stuff fell out of the sky yesterday that I barely remembered and recognized. And then added to that, it fell over the fire gently, pretty much not all night, but overnight we got wetting rain over the whole fire. So what you're seeing now is, compared to last time, is kind of a moderation in the fire behavior. That's due to the effort and the success out here by our fire crews, and also the moderation in the weather. So people are back in homes. We're back on the road. Electricity is either back up or soon will be. There's a lot of work going on by your local utilities there, but our work's not done yet. The nature of the work's probably changed. We're not doing hand-to-hand combat and trying to get people out of the way and trying to stop the progression of the fire. But the things that Travis talked about, while we're still trying to slow fire advance on the south end of the fire, we're doing things like pulling hose out, pulling pumps out, rehabilitating lines. So as that goes around on contained line, the nature of the work changed, but the nature of the effort doesn't. So just the last thing I would share with you, our teams do 14-day assignments now because, you know, there's some intensity. We're trying to really maintain some momentum and some urgency with what we do, and people, we're people too, and we just get tired, and so we need a couple days off. And so I believe our 14th day will be next Tuesday. And what we're planning, and it's slowly, you can see it coming together, is we're planning to have the fire and the incident in a situation where the local forces and the local authorities that have delegated us authority will be able to manage this incident with a much, much smaller team. because that's one of the things we do too, is try and be stewards not only of the land and the interests of the folks that brought us here, but we're also stewards of the taxpayers' money. So, we acknowledge we're expensive, but it takes some expense to make to really manage one of these things. But we'll get it to a place where it's in a much smaller team will probably come in behind us and be in pretty good shape. So with that, appreciate your interest again tonight, and I'll hand it back to Michelle.
Thank you. Our next presenter is going to join us from a video. So if you notice a difference in your feed, that's going on.
Good evening. I'm Bill Dunkelberger. I'm the Forest Supervisor for the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest, and just wanted to take a minute here to express my appreciation to the public, all the communities that have been affected by the Tamarack Fire, and especially to our incredible firefighters, the incident management team that's done a great job getting this fire slowly and surely under containment. And just also want to assure you that the Forest Service stands behind the communities in any kind of restoration and recovery that's going to be needed down the road. Thank you very much, and I want to assure you that the Forest Service stands with you and our communities in assuring that any needs that you have for recovery and restoration are met.
Once again, Michelle Kelly, Public Information Officer with the Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team. We greatly appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules as you're also returning home to be with us to give you these very important fire messages. We encourage you, if you have questions, to email us, to comment on Facebook so that we can get those important answers to you. In addition, if you'd like the personal touch of talking to someone, our phone number is 775-434-8629. Once again, thank you and have a nice evening.